Blockchain is what I like to describe blockchain as is a new type of database, so a new method of storing information. At the moment, if you use an existing database, there's an ability for records that are stored on that to be changed or amended. With a blockchain, if a sort of transaction or a specific piece of data is stored to a blockchain, from that moment forward, that cannot be changed. It can be improved, updated or amended, but then there will also always be a record or a transaction history of that. And so the blockchain is a new type of technology that allows you to store data, but it stores that data in a very secure way that it cannot be changed. It also has some really interesting permissioning functionality where you can very secretly hide that information from anybody other than one person or one party, but you then, if you are the party that owns that data, you can expose that to people you might want to. So it's very, very applicable in circumstances where there's multiple parties involved in data storage that don't need visibility of one thing but might want visibility of another. So it's effectively just a new type of database. That's how I like to try and explain it. I guess the focus that we have with mining and blockchain is around supply chains. And so what we want to do is we want to help somebody better track their supply chain and store the relevant data that they're creating along that supply chain journey in a blockchain so that they know at any exact point in time or moment that that transaction occurred. So a simple example would be capturing the data of, say, a 10-ton ore extraction and then its movement throughout a supply chain via a vehicle to, say, a conveyor belt, via a conveyor belt to, say, a crusher. And at every single point in that time, you would record the receipt of that, so the transaction at the next point, and that would be stored on the blockchain to ensure that that 10 tons is what's moving throughout that journey and nothing is being, say, taken or removed by somebody or altered in any way. And so it gives real surety across the supply chain and it really validates the origin of that data, because once something is stored, it can't be changed. And so you know 100% that what you're working with is the truth. It's interesting, one of the core purposes and the mission behind our organisation was to sort of support this source of origin of materials, particularly in Africa, particularly potentially in conflict zones where you're facing issues around some sort of slavery or child sort of labour, and you want to eradicate that, and the best way to do so is to record how something is extracted. And so you have the ability to do that using blockchain as long as you can show or capture the record of that kind of origin source of material, and then beyond that point or forever in that journey, you can show what's happened. There's also opportunities around sustainability when it comes to CO2 emissions and all this sorts of stuff around sort of energy use and energy creation at the moment, where again you can really capture the creation of, the expenditure of, and 100% know that this mine is expending X amount of CO2 at this point in time. The sensors said this, so there's true certainty in that information, which then allows and empowers people to take action against that, and really helps them go, all right, this is what we need to do to make a change, and you'll be able to track that change across time as well. So there's a lot of value from a responsible mining angle, and we've worked closely with the RMI, Responsible Mining Institute, to work on ways to assist with that sort of stuff through blockchain.